Hello and welcome back to another trade recap. In this video we're going to go over the trade I took on the 27th of January 2026. We're going to go over the longs I end up catching on this day and why I was bullish to the higher time frame draws. Let's get into it. When we go to the hourly time frame, it's telling us what's happening. When I go to the hourly time frame, as you can see here, we have a few draws on liquidity to the upside, especially on the 15-minute as well. On the 15-minute, we have this unfilled 15-minute gap right here. We also have this high here. This high is London high, so we'll mark that out as London high, as you can see there. Then we have a 15-minute unfilled gap, as you can see right there. When I go to the 5-minute, when it wants to load, as you can see, we have these relative equal highs right here as well. The wick inside the unfilled, or the start of the unfilled 15-minute gap, and obviously the London high. On the 4-hour time frame as well, we have draws on liquidity here, like this high up here, right there, and then other highs over to the left. So we had a lot of higher time frame highs very close, and price overall is super bullish after bouncing off this BPR, pushing down here off open and reversing for the rest of Monday and Tuesday is genuinely just bullish. So what am I going to look for a reversal? Well, I need price to come into a key area. When I go here to the hourly time frame, as you can see, we have unfilled 1-hour gap right here. When I mark that out, and an unfilled 1-hour gap right there. Also, if I put my discount tool on the move up from that high to that low, as you can see, price, this is the key area we want price to come in that. It's halfway through the range. So when I go on to the 15-minute time frame as well, we also have this wick right here inside this little fair value gap. This wick inside this fair value gap here. So now we have another draw lower. Now, let's let price play out. As you can see, price obviously, where is open? Here's open. Price, as you can see, pushes down, comes back up, sweeps out this high and goes back down. For me, even though I draws on liquidity lower, as I've said, I was overall bullish. So we might have rejected off this wick. I didn't like this short position, so I stayed out of it. As you can see, price comes down and taps exactly into the key area I wanted price to tap into. Takes out this 1-hour unfilled gap, get rid of that. Takes out this 1-hour unfilled gap that was here, and it takes out this 15-minute low inside the 15-minute gap, as well as hitting 50% of the range. So it's hit all my key areas. We do end up getting some sort of 1-minute reversal here. I end up actually taking this play right here. Went there, and then I was targeting, obviously, draws on liquidity higher. Essentially, I'm targeting London high right here for about a 2-hour position. When I let price play out, as you can see, we end up tapping in this 1-min unfilled gap and rejecting off it, and that's where I got break even. So I was trying to jump an entry there, to be honest, as I've made videos before about jumping entries. That was a jumped entry, trying to get in early on the move. So what did I do? I regrouped. I said, okay, got stopped out there. Got break even there. Sorry, not stopped. Let me see what other time frames we can look for a good reversal. We end up getting a 3-minute inversion here. But what I was looking at was this 2-min. As we had a nice 2-minute close, this 2-min tapped this order block. So I would like us to see some better rejection out of 2-min. When we see the next candle here, you could have entered on this position. And that's what most people entered on. And to be honest, you could have had your stops at that protected low. And then you would have got basically a 2.2-hour trade to this high. This is a protected low because it sweeps a low inside a fair value gap and pushes to the upside. So you could have took that position. For me, I wanted to wait until this 1-min gap was took out. As you can see here, on this day, I was only going for winning days to get max payouts on alpha futures, and I have a big payout on top step waiting. So I'm literally just trying to get winning days on most of my accounts. So I was happy waiting until price inverse the top gap and me taking the position because I know I'm going to put in small size and I'm expecting it to be bullish, so I want price to run to the upside. If I was full size on this day, this 2-min is a very good play in my opinion, but I want to wait till this 1-min gap here got inversed for a little bit worse of an entry but a little bit more confirmation on the play. When I let price play out, we end up chopping about a bit, then we got the inverse to the upside. That is where I entered my position, putting stops to protected low, and then I targeted London high. It ended up being like a 1.2-hour play, something like that. I actually ended the target a little bit above it. So it ended up being a 1.1 hour, 1.2 hour play. The fill was a little bit better than it's showing there. I think the next candle comes down. No, anyways, my fill was, it ended up being 1 hour or 1.2 hours, something around that. I went break even when we tapped in this 15-minute unfill gap that we talked about, or this high here. Either high is good for break even. But as you can see, we kind of blasted through either, so it would not have mattered either way. And then as you can see, we delivered on 2 TP, taking out some draws on liquidity. Obviously, we had the higher time frame draws above. So if you want to hold to them, yeah, you would have been in that a while. I didn't see what happened the rest of the day, but oh my goodness. We'll wait. We will wait. Anyways, as I'm talking, we'll let that play out. Basically, they were the higher time frame draws. Prices holding this level very well, as you can see. And that's why I took that position. Simply, we tapped in the areas I want price to tap into. I had the narrative of the day correct. Oh my god, that is still not done. It tapped into the key area. It tapped into the key areas, the hour unfill gap, swept a 15-minute low inside the gap, got a rejection, got our inverses with momentum to the upside, taking out all our draws on liquidity. To be honest, it doesn't get much better than that. It doesn't get much cleaner price action delivering from what we want to see to what it gave us. That is spot on, and we can't ask for much more than that. ES on this day, I forgot to mention, we also had SMT here, but to be honest, at the 15-minute wick inside the gap. But to be honest, we had SMT everywhere because the S went nowhere. It just went to the upside when we started pushing up, but didn't have the move down. That is the exact trade I took to secure max payouts on Alpha Futures. I'll put a screenshot somewhere at the start of the video, you've probably seen it. And then winning days on Top Step. I just need one more win day for quite a big payout. So that is how I got my winning days trading on this day. I'll see you on the next recap, and peace out.